What's going on, guys? What we got in here? You guys hear me okay? Also, it's barbecue. What's going on, man? Kenny, the grilling maniac. How are you? Loud and clear. What's going on, Matt? Just wanted to go live. I haven't gone live for a while now, so just wanted to chat a few. I'm actually out of town today, so I got some time. Doing well for midweek, yeah. It's almost Friday. Yeah, I'm actually out of town at a hotel room. Russell, what's going on, buddy? Stephanie, how are you? Jim, welcome. Just got back from work. Enjoying a beer. Nice. I just enjoyed a Subway sandwich. That was my dinner. Hope you guys had a good New Year and a good Christmas. Hard to believe we're in year 2020. 2020 seems like just yesterday, or 2000. The year 2000 seems like just yesterday. Hey, Smiley, what's going on, man? Jim Cantu, I need some brisket. Yeah, I just saw I was just watching Rye. Rye put out a video on a brisket he cooked on a pellet. I think it was a Camp Chef pellet grill, and I think he said it was his first time using a pellet smoker. Mike, how are you? And his brisket came out really juicy. I think he did a good job on it. I saw that. I saw Rye gave me a shout out. So I got like 15 subscribers, like in a very short period of time, and I was like, man, where'd that come from? So I got back to the hotel room from work today. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. Um, yeah, Kenny, check it out, man. He's got it's a good video. Um, knife, knife. Can you see my knife? I actually have a knife right in my hand. I was just cleaning it. But yeah, he gave me a shout out. He gave me a shout out, and James from Emmy claimed him a shout out. early on his video. Blue Heaven, what's going on, buddy? No blue wrenches. No blue wrenches in the chat. I'm gonna have to make some of you guys blue wrenches. I'm using my cell phone. I didn't even bring my tripod or anything. I'm using, I'm in a hotel room, so I'm using the little coffee pot as my stand. And I'm watching. I got the TV on. I was just trying to catch up with the news, see what's going on with Iran and stuff, but um, got caught watching a show. Yeah, Smiley, I'm in Carlsbad, New Mexico. I've been out of town since Monday. I don't go back home till Friday evening. So a week on the road, man. Try to get out about 1 week a month. It's not too bad. Busy market, man. This Carlsbad market, it's the oil boom town for sure. Finally have Wednesday off. I'm usually busy on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so it's hard for me to make these lives. So I get you, Blevin. I got you. But yeah, I haven't been live for a while, so I just wanted to come on and I'm out of town, so get those evals done. That's funny you say that, Smiley, because we got an email today that the eval workbooks are out, buddy. You know us all too well, my friend. But no, I'll work on those. I'm not doing my evals till the end of the month, so I'll work on those next week in my office. That's funny, dude. That's funny that you remember the timeline. Yeah, I knocked those out pretty quick, man. Been doing this for so long that it's a breeze for me. I mean, you gotta look at different reports to put those evals together, but they go pretty smooth. I know, right? Thanks, Oso's Barbecue. Yeah, and Smiley, you mentioned 501 Barbecue. I saw they hit 1,000 subscribers, man. That's awesome, bro. Um, Brian, I think he's got a good channel going, and like I mentioned in that video, where I gave 501 Barbecue a shout out. I'm gonna do that to. I've got a lot of channels that I watch that maybe you guys don't watch. Mountaintop Barbecue. You know what, Greg? It's funny you mentioned that, bro, because um, I'm gonna be in Artesia Friday. How's the radiant heat versus the convection and the bigger smoker? I'll get to that question in a bit. So I'm going to be in Artesia on Friday, and I have the option to drive through Carlsbad to go back to El Paso. I can go back to Roswell, which is 30 minutes away, and then go up towards Rio Doso and down. But I also have the option to go down through Cloudcroft, go up through Cloudcroft, and come out on the other side into Alamogordo. And I think I'm going to take that run. I brought my truck. I normally don't bring my truck when I go out of town, but I'm swing by there, Greg. I might swing by. Um, but going back to what I was talking about, 501 Barbecue. Give them a shout out. They hit 1,000 subscribers. Again, I like their channel. I like what they're doing, and I'm going to do that on my videos. On all of my videos, I'm going to give a channel a shout out just randomly. There's a lot of small channels that I watch, and a lot of small channels that I want to help grow. And I told Brian I was going to help him. That I was going to help him, and I'm going to help him as much as possible. And any small channel that I like that that's into barbecue, I'm going to give him a shout out for sure. Um, Greg, you know what? There's snow. There was snow in. I drove through Rio Doso up in the mountains, which connects to Cloudcroft. There's just on the northern side of Cloudcroft, and there was a lot of snow. There was a lot of snow on the sides of the mountains and stuff. So I think Cloudcroft is getting some snow. How do you spell that one? The pronunciation makes it hard with YouTube's. Which what are you talking about, Matt? Eddie Wright, what's going on, buddy? How do you spell that one? What are you talking about, Matt? And then somebody asked a question about how's the radiant heat versus the convection in the bigger smoker. Yeah, you must if you're talking about the Yoda Frontiersman. um, it is more radiant heat, but again, like I mentioned in that video where I smoked the Oh God, what did I smoke in there? I forgot what I smoked. Now I forget. Um, I can turn that into a. I can change the heat where the heat source comes from. I can open the damper and have the heat come over the food, or I can close the damper and have the food or the heat and the smoke go under. So I can either choose to go fat cap up or fat cap down. Um, and both of them work really good. It takes some getting used to because my other offset, I was used to cooking with a fat cap up because the heat was mainly on the top. With that Yoda Frontiersman, the heat, if I wanted to, the majority of the heat is going to come from the bottom. Um, and I love that you have that option with that smoker because, you can really you can get some nice bark and you can cook a lot of food on it. It's just learning it. So I'm still, believe it or not, I'm still learning that Yoda Frontiersman, but I think I got it. I mean, I can set the intake, get my fire going, set my intake, set my exhaust, and that thing just sits there at whatever temperature I want it to sit at. It's real easy to operate. I really love that smoker. Um, Let me see. Oh, 501 barbecue. I'm sorry. Like the jeans, the 501 jeans, 501 barbecue. Check him out. Comment on this video and tell him I sent you over there. I agree. Great things coming. I got the new black griddle and air fryer combo. Eddie, it's funny you say that. I was just at Walmart yesterday in Roswell. I love going to the Walmarts when I'm out of town because sometimes they have good specials on barbecue, on charcoal stuff. Um, but I like hitting those Walmarts up. I just bought some. I didn't buy anything yesterday. I just bought some body wash and a case of water. I gotta have my water. Smiley is saying, sorry, also, I don't currently. Must be asking if he's got a channel. Hard for me to come on, man. Smiley's a savage. Check him out on Instagram. Smiley, I think it's Smiling Dragon Barbecue. Is that your Instagram too, Smiley? But he's a competition cook. How many briskets fit in it? I don't know, Tino. A lot. What's up, Joe? Shout out from Walnut Grove, Missouri. Very nice. Daniel Boone, nice. Welcome, buddy. I don't see you using Heath Ryle seasonings anymore. Would you say Victory Lane seasonings are better? Joe, I used. There's nothing wrong with Heath Ryle's barbecue rubs. First of all, okay, I will say that. I used them. I liked them. Victory Lane. I haven't used Heath Ryle's that much to compare the two. I know that they were both partners at one point, and they both have their own seasonings, and they're both very similar. But I can't comment on that answer quite honestly. But they're good rubs. I'm not going to say anything bad about Heath Ryle's rubs. I don't use them anymore, but when I did use them, they were good. I actually we did a couple of competitions, and I used Heath Ryle's product, and we ended up, the big one was in Lubbock. That was a KCBS competition. I think we hit 11th in ribs, and I was in charge of cooking ribs. Um, Out of I think 60 teams and some very, very, very heavy hitters. I know that I beat a lot of people, a lot of teams in ribs. Again, 11th place ribs. That's not too shabby. Um, the Smoking Joe Fund. That's awesome, Blevin. I just started my channel a couple of months ago. Anderson, I've seen your channel. You're one of the channels that I like, one of the young channels that I absolutely love. So Andrew's asking, what do you think has attributed to your success on YouTube? Andrew, to be honest with you, there's a lot of things. You have to be consistent with your videos. You have to be honest in everything that you're doing. And I think that there's a lot of channels out there that cook barbecue. I'm one of the few that'll show you everything, everything from the start to finish. Okay. Um, so what I like to do is my channel is geared around showing people how to barbecue. So I'll start from, taking the protein out of the wrapper to how to trim it to how to season it, what temperature I pull it at. Um, so it's just from start to finish. And I think people like that. Especially if people are learning how to barbecue, they like that. And I bounce back and forth from my Yoder Frontiersman to my Yoder pellet smoker. I do Weber kettle cooking. I do pit barrel cooking. I do gateway drum cooking. So kind of spread it around the backyard a little bit, if you will. But you know, I I just think you have to be honest in everything that you're doing. Don't hide secrets. Um, and have good lighting for your videos, which I have two light umbrellas. I have got an external mic that I use now. You can hear me breathing and swallowing. That mic is so sensitive with sound, but I can adjust that sound. So there's been a lot of things. Get involved with the barbecue community. If your channel is going to be about barbecue, get involved with the barbecue community so they can help you as well. Watch their videos. I don't skip through any videos. I just saw Scott's video from the Real Show Barbecue. He just did a pork shoulder. I watched the entire video from start to finish, and I watched Rye's video on that brisket. I watched it from start to finish. Rye's got a lot of ads on his videos, and I sat there and watched them because that's what I want my viewers to do as well. I want them to not skip through my videos. So, and leave a nice comment for them. Be honest in your comments. Hey, good job, or hey, maybe some recommendations for them, because their subscribers are also going to comment and they're going to see, well, who's this guy, Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue, that left this nice comment for Rye. I honestly like Rye. There's a lot of channels that I watch that I honestly really, really like the way they cook. Um, and they run good channels, but get involved in the barbecue community as well. Get involved as much as possible. You're on my live right now, Anderson's Smoke Show. So people that are following me on YouTube are probably going to see your name and click on your link right there, and you will get subscribers just from leaving a comment like that. So just get involved and keep doing what you're doing, man. I think you have a really good channel, and I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited to where your channel's going to go. All right, I'm going to try to catch up here. CJ, yes, sir. My New Year's was great, man. Thanks for asking. Heath, his hometown. I like his stuff. It's pretty good. It's good stuff. Also, Daniel Boone, Joe, I'm smoking a tri-tip. Saw your channel, been a hit at my house. Oh, thanks, Daniel. Are you smoking that like a brisket, or are you doing it to about 115 degrees and then searing it to about 135 or so? Enjoy them and help in my barbecue game. That's awesome, Joe. See that little comment right there, man. That makes me want to hurry up and get home and smoke some stuff, because I know that I'm helping. If I just help one guy a year, I'm happy with that. But thanks for that, Joe. Appreciate you, man. I've done that. Actually, I had a little competition with James from MM and Claim Him. He's a savage rib cook, and I think that we ended up tying. Oh yeah, Jimmy, that Cosmos OPX1. Uh, what are the sauces for ribs? Cosmos OPX1 is amazing. Okay. Um, and I also, oh man, I'm giving you some of my secrets, but again, that's what makes me so genuine. Okay, that they're genuine. That I don't mind sharing my sauces and my rubs with you guys. So, Jimmy. Now I don't use them 100% straight up out of the bottle. Okay, sometimes I will mix them, but the Cosmos OPX1, I don't use it right out of the bottle. I do mix it in with some other stuff. Like I'll mix some of Cosmos OPX1 with some of his pineapple heat. Um, and then I also like Our House Barbecue has a rum barbecue sauce. But again, I mix it with some other stuff. Okay, so they got a good sauce, and then um, Blues Hog. Blues Hog, Champions Blend, I believe it's called. That was a savage sauce as well. But I also use Sweet Baby Ray's on a lot of those sauces that I'm talking about right now. Okay, so I'll mix some of that in there. I'm not a very big like just traditional barbecue fan. I thin it down or add some other things to it just to change the flavor profile a little bit. David Nelson, love your channel. Thank you, David. I know that you've been a loyal subscriber for a long time, man. I appreciate you. Jacqueline and Dad, how are you? Good evening. Eric Moreno. Miss Booger, there's my one of my mods. How are you? Happy New Year to you, Miss Booger. Holy cow, this table's vibrating. Let me see. Let me see. Jacqueline and Dad, thanks for the advice. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Anderson, don't give up. You know, it's going to seem like you've hit a wall and you're not growing, but do not give up, man. Don't give up. There's a lot of, there's a lot of good channels out there. And I got to tell you that, there's a lot of really big channels out there, okay? They started just where we're at and they got to where they're at by not giving up. My goal with my channel is to get to 1 million subscribers. Okay, I know that right now, some of you guys may have spit out your water, but my goal is to get to 1 million subscribers, and I'm going to get to 1 million subscribers. One thing about me is if I put my heart and soul into something, I'm going to go after it, and I've got a goal. I'm going to get to 1 million subscribers one day. If it's next year or 5 years or 10 years from now, I'm going to get those 1 million subscribers. That's my goal. Okay, so stick with it because those big channels that are big today, they started right where we're at. Okay, and I'd like to take you guys along with me. Surf and turf videos coming soon. I love seafood, man. I love that surf and turf idea. Some lobster tails or something. Smoking like a brisk. What? Daniel, smoking like a brisket, exact same recipe. Oh, okay. Oh, very nice, Daniel. Oh, you're talking about the tri-tip. I'm sorry, Daniel. That tri-tip. I mean, a lot of people like their tri-tips medium rare, right? About 135. You pull it, let it rest for about 20, 30 minutes, and then slice it. Really good. There's nothing wrong with tri-tip that way. But man, when I cooked that tri-tip like a brisket, it was savage. It was really good. Miss Booger says she's got Daniel Boone's song stuck in her head. In my head. Had a great Christmas and New Year's. I'm Hispanic. Is your name really Daniel Boone? Okay, let's settle that right now. He says he's Hispanic named Daniel Boone. Camp House Barbecue, Theo Joe. Guys, there's another channel that I like, Camp House Barbecue. I like his channel in general. I mean, he's family, he's deer hunter, he's barbecue guy, competition cook. He's all over the place. He's going to be in the hot seat tomorrow on Cooking with CJ. So check out tomorrow's hot seat, man. It's going to be fun. Sweet Baby Ray's is good stuff. It is good stuff. Do you have any cookies? Omar, I don't have any cookies, brother. You know what? I actually bought 2 cookies on Monday. I had dinner at Jimmy John's and I bought 2 oatmeal cookies. But when I buy those oatmeal cookies, I don't eat them. I take them home to my daughter. She loves oatmeal cookies. Papa C. Yeah, man, holidays were great, buddy. Holidays were great. Johnny, V2 Grill, what's going on, buddy? Man, we brought out the crowd tonight. Thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks for the vids and tips as always. Jimmy, you're very welcome, man. That's what I'm here for. If you guys have any special requests, let me know. You have any special questions. A lot of people reach out to me and I give them my cell phone number. Um, you know, so if you guys have any questions, barbecue or whatever it may be, I'll help you. I don't mind giving you guys my cell phone number so we can talk or chat or text or whatever. Um, Tina. Yeah, you know it's getting cold, man. El Paso at night it gets into 20s. So if I got to get up to smoke early, man, I'm freezing my tail off, man. My smoker, like like my frontiersman, it's a big chunk of steel, right? So I light my firebox, and the whole smoker gets wet on the outside because it's so cold. It's the metal when it gets from cold to hot or hot to cold, it starts to sweat. The outside surface is just sweating with water, the condensation, I should say. Was that table vibrating? Are you happy to see me? So this hotel room that I'm in Carlsbad, New Mexico. There's a main highway that goes to El Paso, and you can go to Roswell, up to Cloudcroft and Ruidoso. So there's a lot of traffic, you know. And I think when a big rig, because this is a big oil field market, when a big rig passes by, it shakes the whole damn hotel. It's crazy. This table is, I don't know if it's this or the AC unit kicking on. I don't know, but something's making his table vibrate. But no, it's not you. Po' boys soon. Smoked shrimp turn. Oh man, that sounds good, Anderson. I did some smoked lobster rolls. And I found that anytime that I veer off of barbecue, I don't get the views like I do when I do barbecue. People like to see me smoke barbecue for some reason, and that's fine. I'm out. Your contacts are bothering you. All right, buddy. I hate it when I wore contacts and my eyes would dry out. Oh, I hated that. Brownsville, Texas. Oh, thanks for doing that, CJ. Thanks for supporting Booger. Surf and turf. That sounds good. Yep, holidays were good, Papa C. 1 million subscribers. Great, Scott. Yeah, I'm gonna get to 1 million subscribers, man, and I'm gonna. You mark my words. Chef Johnny, how are you, buddy? Raspberry. I mean, raspberry. Russell says, Joe, yes, you may have to cancel New Year's Eve Books Fest. Russell at Raspberry Rock. I love his channel too. Fridays usually it's been a long week. I get home, relax, have a couple beers, and watch Russell from Raspberry Rock. It's a good time for sure, man. Smokey Joe, I live in the Odessa. I live in Odessa. I would love to come and get some tips. Have a Yoder Y640. Get a lot of meat from Midland Meat Company. Oh, Victor, you're lucky, man. You're lucky if you're Odessa, so Midland, Odessa are really close. Um, you're lucky to be there, man, because Midland Meat has some amazing product. I'm gonna say that that's probably the best meat in the world at Midland Meat Company. Okay, I've cooked Snake River Farms briskets before. Um, I've cooked prime briskets. I've cooked Wagyu from the black to the gold from Snake River Farms, and nothing compares to Midland Meat Company. You guys have seen my videos on my ribs, that tri-tip that I cooked from Midland Meat Company, the brisket, the skirt steaks that I cooked from them. Um, all that meat is amazing. I don't. I mean, John, the owner of Midland Meat Company, is doing some amazing things with his beef for sure. Starting the Jack Royal Circuit next month. Very nice. Wait, I don't have your cell number. Hey, brother, you know how to get a hold of me, man. Send me a message on Instagram and I'll give it to you. Chef Johnny's got my cell number. New to the comp scene, any suggestions jumping out there early with a 20-foot rig? Ooh, very nice. Um, no, man. The only advice, Eddie, obviously is there's a lot of good videos out there. In fact, 501 Barbecue is a competition cook. He's got some good things. I've got a few videos out there on competition trimming and ribs and pork. I think I have a couple of briskets videos out there on competition briskets, but get out there and do it, man. And get your scorecards, get your comment cards, and see how you can improve your game. Are you on Talk Chat? Not yet. I guess I'm behind, guys. I'm going to catch up here. I just don't want to miss any questions. What's under the table? Vibrating bed. All right, San Antonio. Getting ready to work, smoking bears. I'm just going to catch up on the chat here, guys. Lubbock, Texas, PV. Welcome, man. Lubbock, Texas. Big oil field market there. Ah, Russell, man. Nah, your whole chat was amazing, bro. Are you doing the Texas Hangout? I don't know, man. I'm gonna try to get that time off. I don't know. I'd love to go out there, man. Kent, what's going on, buddy? Make some cheese sauce with the onions. John Hill, how are you, sir? It's 29 here. Oh, there's 29 here, 9 likes. Yeah, give me a thumbs up, guys. It looks like there's 18 thumbs up now. Thank you guys very much. All right, looks like I've caught up on the chat. Uh, yes, Miss Booger, thank you very much. What's the most you have put on the frontiersman at once during one cook? John, I did. Oh man, that was a savage cook, by the way. I cooked. It was I think it was my first official cook on my frontiersman. So I cooked a brisket. I cooked some beef ribs, some beef short ribs, beef back ribs, sausage. Um, and I think that's it. So go back and watch my videos. There's you'll see a tray of a bunch of food. That's the most that I've put in it. It's different. I challenged myself early. I put a lot of different meats in there. Everything came out at different times, but that was my platter. If I had a barbecue joint, that's what my platters would look like. Okay. And that was a very challenging cook, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I can't say that on air. Chef Johnny, love his sense of humor, man. Love that. Yeah, Pepe was putting in some work. What combination of gloves do I use? Was that right? All right. So Simon, I use Raven gloves. They're black gloves. They're about 6 mil, I think. But I also use some cut gloves from the company KUTT, or you can use some. They call them cut gloves, but I use the ones I use are from the cut company KUTT, and I like the cut ones because they go beyond your wrist. So if your knife slips, and I have slipped a little bit, and thank God that I've got those gloves on, it will protect your skin. Um, so I use those. They're like, I don't know if they're cotton or what they're made out of. So I use those gloves, and then I put my Raven glove on top of that, my rubber glove. Um, yeah, Booger, you tell him. Do I use cotton gloves under them? Yes, they're those cut gloves. Mainly on my left hand because I'm right-handed, so I'm usually, you know, trimming with my right hand. But sometimes I'll wear if I'm going to handle hot meat. I'll probably get some hashtags for that. But if I'm going to handle some hot meat, I will put the gloves, the cut gloves, under my gloves, and that way I can pull the pork a little bit or do whatever I gotta do to flip the meat or whatever, and I don't feel the heat because you will burn your hands if you just wear those gloves by themselves without that cotton glove on the bottom of it. 501 barbecue. There he is. There's Brian right there. Later, Smiley. Alamosa, Colorado. I don't mind going up there, bro. I had to reinforce the floor of my trailer to get that frontiersman on there. Simon. Question from John Hill. How many briskets can I fit on the Yoder Frontiersman? I'm going to assume that you're saying. Um, Man, if I had to guess, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 briskets probably. Depending on the size. Okay, if I get briskets like that are 14 pounds and I trim them down to maybe 12 pounds or so, I could probably fit a little bit more. But if I go big, like a 18 pound briskets, maybe 20-pound briskets, I'm gonna fit a little bit less. But I can probably say if I start off with raw briskets at 16 pounds or so, 17 pounds, and trim them down to 14 pounds, I can probably fit about 15 briskets in there. And he walks with a limp. Yeah, so there's 501 Barbecue, guys. That's the channel I was talking to. Smiley and I were talking about earlier. Um, Check out his channel. You'll like it. That's one of the channels that I like. One of the new channels that I like. And as I mentioned earlier, in all of my videos, I'm going to give a shout out to a lot of these smaller channels. And I got to tell you that, my channel, I think I got 4,500, I think, subscribers, 4,600 maybe. Later, Blevin. I wasn't able to get to that number by myself. Okay, there's a lot of channels like Chef Johnny that give me shout outs. I remember last year I was coming back from San Antonio. Actually, I had just met with Chef Johnny. I had dinner with Chef Johnny and his wife the night before, and I was on my way home, and he went live, and he was at the school that he teaches at, and he mentioned my channel, and man, I swear, I got probably like 90 subscribers in that short period of time because Chef Johnny mentioned my name. So, again, get involved, and I'm going to help those small channels. A lot of those small channels are in this chat right now. I'm going to help you guys out as much as possible because a lot of channels help me. Um, so 501 Barbecue, congratulations on the 1,000 subs, man. Good job, buddy. Thinking about getting a Frontiersman for my catering gigs a couple of years. Um, Tuning plate removable. Yes, the tuning plates are removable. In fact, I'm going to have to clean that here pretty soon. So, um, yeah, you can take the tuning plates out and scrape the bottom. I love that Frontiersman. I haven't found one issue. Now, the only issue and it's not really a big deal to me. So on my Frontiersman, you got that firebox. It's a big firebox. It's double insulated firebox. You're very welcome, Brian. Um, what's my thought on the Smoky Mountain? Smoky Mountain, like the Weber. Uh, the Weber Smoky Mountain is what I first started smoking on. That's a savage cooker. Weber itself makes a good grill. I mean, I think it's probably the Weber. It's a hell of a grill, hell of a smoker. I'm going vegan. Thoughts? Gil, I'm gonna smoke a brisket this weekend. Before you go vegan, come over and have some of that brisket, okay? You'll cancel your plans to go vegan. Um, what was I talking about? I got easily sidetracked. Oh, so about mentioning small channels. There's a lot of small channels that I'm going to mention on all of my videos to try to help those channels out. And grill squash is the bomb. Yeah, literally. Um, so there's just a lot of channels that you guys probably don't even know that I watch, and maybe some of you guys don't even know that exist out there. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of gas with that squash. Um, but I want to share those channels, and a lot of the channels that I'm going to share with you guys are channels that I think are channels like mine that have just good. I mean, I'm not going to brag about my channel, but have good content, and I like where these guys are going. So 501 is definitely one of them. But I'm going to give out as many shout outs as I possibly can to some of those smaller channels. Uh, uh, for the hog chicharron cook, Man, I'd love to hang out with you, man. Um, Eric, I think that you'd. I mean, I just think you're a hell of a guy, and I think that you'd be fun just to hang out with, man. Um, can barbecue can't barbecue vegetables, maybe tofu. You know, I've never had tofu. I think it was just ate eight. She made some tofu something. I don't know what tofu tastes like. What does it taste like? Toes? um, Whistleberry substitute. Yeah, the WSM is great. Awesome starter smoker. I started with that thing. I mean, I used it till it fell apart, and I still sold it. Yeah, I agree, Brian. That Weber Smoky Mountain is a heck of a smoker. What's my favorite grill smoker you'd like to cook on? John, right now, my favorite cooker is my Yoder Frontiersman. I love that thing. I mean, it's just I don't know. I mean, I love what I do. I love barbecuing, and I love getting up early in the morning and starting that firebox and smelling like smoke. My jacket smell like smoke. I take a shower, and I can still smell the smoke on me personally. But I just love that the offset smoker. To get it dialed in. I mean, I love it. If you have hot and sour soup at a Chinese restaurant, you have had tofu. Oh man, I don't know. I think I have had hot and sour soup, but I try to stay away from those soups at Chinese restaurants because I think they sit there too long. Uh, that would Carlos. I think that would be great. Booger has some work to do. Night night. Daniel Boone's song stuck in my head. Oi, oi, vey. Miss Booger, good night. Thanks for joining in on the chat. I appreciate you. Have a good night. That would be great. So I was watching Greg Rempe. He does the Hey Rick, what's going on, man? Um, Greg Rempe does the Barbecue Central show on he does it on YouTube, and he does it on Facebook as well. And he was talking about Pitmasters. The Pitmasters came up, the TV show that was out, and they had a few years. It was a good running show for a while, and a lot of people got into competition cooking because of that. But I mentioned on his channel yesterday that I think that the next show that they should have like a backyard barbecue pitmaster where they pick people like me and a lot of you guys in this chat, Chef Johnny and Miss Booger can bring her air fryer. But just barbecue, backyard barbecue guys, and Rick, and Eric, just pick a bunch of backyard barbecue guys from different states, not just Texas. And let's do a backyard barbecue pit masters, man. I'd love to do that. I would love to do something like that. I'm very competitive, man. I'm a very competitive guy. Um, all right, Jacqueline and Dad. It would, Rick. Maybe one of those producers is watching right now, or somebody that knows the producer that can make that happen. I did that. I did that from that show, First Comp in 2012, just because of that show. That's funny. I didn't know. Yeah, very nice. I didn't know about barbecue pitmasters. People would always tell me. Now I've been smoking barbecue for, oh man, let me see. I met my wife in '96. So, but I started with steaks and just fajitas, just real simple stuff. Probably 1994 or so. And people were telling me, people would ask me all the time, "Hey, are you watching BBQ Pitmasters?" And I was like, "No, I don't even know what that is." And then one day it came out. I was watching TV and it came out, BBQ Pitmasters, and I was watching it and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." It's it's about barbecue competitions and I saw a lot of good barbecue back or not backyard barbecue guys, but like competition cooks and stuff. Yeah, Nurse Gill says I know the perfect park to do it at. Yeah, the Coyote Park, man. That would be sweet, man. I'd love to do something like that. I would love to a backyard barbecue pit masters. First season was the best. Yeah, Brian, I agree that first season was hilarious. Um, it was funny because Harry Sue on one of those, it was a young Harry Sue, and it was windy. I forgot where they were at. It was windy. His canopy flew, it flew away, and it's windy. We're gonna die. I think he screamed. It was hilarious. I was just laughing at Harry Sue. Harry Sue was just Harry Sue. I think was cooking on Weber Smoky Mountains in competition back then, and it was windy at a comp, and his canopy flew away, and he grabbed it, and he's all wet, and his equipment's falling over, his smokers are falling over. He's like, "We're gonna die," and I thought that was the funniest thing ever to see Harry Sue scream that way. But that's good stuff. Like the crawl boil we did. Yeah, that was really good. Nurse Guild. That was a lot of fun. We need to do that again, man. Hey, love your content, brother. I have some questions about my Traeger. Josh, shoot him away. Let me have him, man. I think I can help you. Where can I find picanha in El Paso? Hector, I don't think you can. I have a big 34 series. Can't figure out the hot area since the fire igniter is in the middle. So, Josh, one thing that I would recommend is do the biscuit test. Okay. Um, oh, very nice, Nurse Skill. So let me get back to that Traeger question, the big 34 Traeger. So just go to the store and buy those cheap biscuits, okay? The ones that come in that pressurized can that everybody freaks out when you got to pop it open. It's like an atomic bomb. So buy a can or two of those biscuits and just put them all over your smoker. Now that Traeger, I believe it has a long shelf on the bottom, then it's got a short shelf on the top. Put a couple of biscuits up on the top too, but spread those biscuits around the bottom grate. Crank your temperature up to say 275 or so. Okay. Leave that lid closed for about 15 minutes at 275. Open it up and flip your biscuits over and see which one's uh, more cooked than the other. Look at the color of the biscuit. Is it brown? Is it burnt? That'll tell you the best way. That is the best way to find if you have hot spots on your smokers. Okay, and that goes for offset smokers as well. You can do that biscuit test. Don't put it on a sheet. Just put it right on the grate. It's going to cost you $2. I think those cans cost $2. So if they burn, you're not going to eat them unless you want to eat them. But that's the best way to find those hot spots in those smokers. Just buy the 12 pack of those cheap biscuits. Put them all around that bottom grate, on the corners, on the sides, in the middle, on the small top shelf. Crank it up to 275. Close the lid. Do not open it for 15, maybe 20 minutes, and then look at your biscuits, and you will find your hot spots on that smoker. Okay. Is picanha pecan? No, it's picanha. I like to put the flat of the brisket away from the heat. Yeah, that's the prize of a brisket. You want to protect that flat as much as possible. Duck Papa, he's no longer in business, but I did reach out to him. I can't remember his name. Um, Give me a minute. Robbie. Robbie is the owner of El Rey. He will make a smoker for you if you reach out to him, okay? Really? Anderson, do it. There's not a whole lot of videos out there, man. No, I'm not doing any shots, man. I got a long drive to, I got a, well, not long. It's an hour and a half drive. I'm going down to Hobbs, New Mexico tomorrow. Have some preserves, some peach preserves or some orange marmalade ready for those biscuits. Isn't orange marmalade the best with a little bit of butter on biscuits? But yeah, that biscuit test, it works on any grill. It even works for your oven. You want to find a, trust me, ovens have hot spots. Um, John Hill, have I done the upgrade yet? No. Um, can I inherit your gateway drums? They seem lonely. I haven't cooked. I go to an outing that we had late last year. I think it was September. Um, September? It had to be in September. We went up to Ruidoso and camped out, and I cooked a bunch of ribs, like 30 some odd racks of ribs on those two drums, and they did a savage job. So I use them. I mean, I may not make videos on it, but I use them a lot. I do. Peach habanero jam. Oh, that sounds delicious. Looks like you're at a Hampton. No, I'm not going to say where I'm at because some of you will call and ask, is Joe Martinez there? Yeah, gateways are amazing. I've got two of them. So Josh says that he's been addicted to separating the flat and the point, lately cooking them separately. Oh God, Daniel Taylor. Daniel Taylor probably knows where I'm at. I'll call your room number. You don't know where I'm at, bro. Oh, the pictures on the wall? I think it might be a. I know that this hotel is part of a hotel chain, but I'm not gonna say because my phone will ring. Where's my phone? Um, do you compete in the barbecue comp in Ruidoso? I don't, Carlos. I almost did. In fact, I had something going that weekend, but my buddy Chris did, and a buddy of mine, Jerry Luna out of El Paso, did compete in that. I might. I mean, these not small barbecues, but these uh, close by places like Lubbock. Um, um, I might go to some of those this year. You can order me a pizza? No, I had a Subway and it wasn't that good. Ugh, I shouldn't have had it. Oh my God. Yeah, Daniel Taylor, you can look at my schedule. You know exactly where I'm at. $5, I'll tell you where Joe is at. Don't take that bet because Daniel can look at my schedule. I can look at Daniel's schedule too. $10 for the room number. Gil, we did pizza once, but I don't think it was on. I think it was on my El Rey, but I haven't cooked pizza in a while. I know you do pizza, man. You do pizza on your barbecue grills. That stuff comes out good. It's hard. John, that's extremely hard. In fact, I try not to go to barbecue places because I know I'm not gonna be happy. Now, there's some barbecue places like, call me crazy, but I think that Rudy's Barbecue is good barbecue. I love their brisket, and I love their green chili stew. Um, I think that barbecue is really good. The ribs, their chicken, I'm not a fan of, but I think their brisket is really good at Rudy's. Not Famous Dave's. I'm not a fan of Famous Dave's, but it is hard. But there are some really good spots. Like in El Paso, we've got We've got Desert Oak Barbecue. That's really good. Ever been to Russell's Barbecue in Elkwood? I haven't. I haven't. Rudy's has some great, great cream corn. I don't think I've ever tasted cream corn. That doesn't sound very good. Sorry, man, but I'm not a fan. Just by cream corn, I just doesn't sound good to me. Um, Chef Johnny says I got cast iron pizza plate for Christmas. Ooh, that's neat. I've got, I've got a pizza stone. I think I got two pizza stones. Isn't that weird? I mean, you can chew corn as much as you want, and for some reason it still comes out whole. I don't get it. Really? Cream corn? I've never had cream corn before. Colitas de pavo. Thanks, Alfonso. Those colitas de pavo were good, man. That's a video that didn't get a whole lot of views either. Just people aren't used to cooking that kind of stuff. I mean, but when you're brought up with it, in the Hispanic culture, those turkey tails, man, you just got to cook them a while, let that fat render out of them. They're going to be good. Cream corn is legit, man. That's three cream corners, three cream corners in the chat. I'm gonna have to give that a shot. I watched several times and was hating it, and was hating. Oh, you were hating. Yeah, I know, right? That's true, Rick. How am I gonna eat a turkey tail, but I won't eat cream corn? And I think the turkey tails, they're very fatty, and I think the turkeys, like, they pluck the oil out of the turkey tails to kind of groom themselves. Like, the turkey tail secretes some kind of oil, and they groom themselves with that oil. Have I smoked beef cheeks? Oh yeah, I've smoked beef cheeks. There's a couple of videos. In fact, James from Claim was at my house, and I did the video, or I did the cooking. James did the video. He posted it on his channel. Those beef cheeks were amazing. It was a late night with James. I think we were eating tacos like at 12:30 in the morning, because we just had a lot of cooking. We had the rib competition that day, and cooked the beef cheeks. That's one of my favorite things to smoke too. Mix cream corn with Jiffy corn muffin mix and add some cheddar. What? Hey, fishing with Christina. How are you? Joe, do you like Calvin? Calvin? Like Calvin and Hobbs, New Mexico. Calvin. I don't know Calvin. Yeah, Gil, I'm with you. The cornbread muffins are the best. Rick loves menudo. Hey, Bill, what's going on, buddy? What are you knuckleheads? You gotta say it like who says knuckleheads? That's is it Barkley? How many bites were involved that night? I'm a lot better when I was. Oh yeah, I saw that you were in the ICU. It was hard to see you that way, but I think you put out a couple of videos. Looks like you're out. So yeah, I like menudo, but I think I like pozole better. Chef Johnny always says knuckleheads. John, what's his name? Barkley? Can't even think of his name right now. Yeah, Mr. Top 10 IBCA. He's like, hey, Bill at Chicken Fried Barbecue doesn't even recognize us anymore. He doesn't even want to hang with us anymore. He'll see us at a Walmart and kind of walk away from us. Like we're not We're not worthy of his presence. What's the best barbecue pit for brisket? There's a lot of them. Right now, the best barbecue pit that I have that cooks the best brisket is my Yoder Frontiersman offset smoker. Your chap stopped moving. Yeah, mine does that too sometimes. If you go back to read comments, you just gotta pozole. Now you're talking. Ooh, nice. You chased him in Uvalde? Probably all day, right? Yoder Nation, that's right, John. Sir William Purvis. Sir William of Purvis. But yeah, so I think this weekend I want to cook a brisket. I own two Yoders. Very nice, John. I'm gonna do a Yoder. I'm gonna do a brisket on my Yoder Frontiersman, but I'm gonna do one that I've never done before. Really? The last comment I have was about the beef cheeks. Oh wow, it stopped on you. You have a baby Yoda? Your LSG 24 by 48 kicks butt also. Yeah, it's a good smoker. Your Old Country Pecos. Eric's Barbecue and More. I think the Old Country Pecos, those, is it Academy that sells those? Those are some pretty nice smokers. I've seen them. Kind of that mid range on the price. Fat cap up or fat cap down, it all depends on the smoker. Fat sideways. That's a beautiful, yeah. So that's the beautiful thing about my frontiersman that I can choose to cook fat cap up by opening up the damper, or I can choose fat cap down if I close that damper down completely and have the heat come from the bottom up, or the heat from the top down if I open up that damper. That's a beautiful thing about that. I do catering. Not I don't like cater like if you want potato salad and all that stuff, I can make that stuff, but mainly the proteins. What do you serve with beef cheeks? Yeah, do tacos. You can do so beef cheeks, guys, is barbacoa, okay? Barbacoa, you can do barbacoa tacos, barbacoa burritos, you can do tortas de barbacoa. Um, but there's a lot of things that you can do. You can do barbacoa, empanadas. You can do so many things with it. But traditionally, you want to do tacos with that. The loaded Wichita and the Cheyenne. Oh, nice. Those are nice. That incredible. What's going on, buddy? You modified your pecos to allow you to fill the bottom up with water. Ooh, very nice. You're getting hungry. Beef cheeks. When did you have beef cheeks, Gil? Is it when you guys came over one time, or dude? Those beef cheeks were amazing. So it's funny. It's funny, Gil, that because Jeff was like, "Man," he's like, "I ain't eating no beef cheeks." You know Jeff, right, Mister Health Nut? He's like, "Man, I ain't eating no beef cheeks." Man, I shoved a taco in his mouth. He's like, "Damn, this is good beef cheek." It was a funny thing. He goes, "Man, that was good. I don't know what it is." I said, "That's beef cheek, man." He's like, "Shit, that stuff is good." You like my cheeks, huh? Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, Gil. That was last year, last February. You going for a beer? Ooh, very nice. Are you doing a decal, Bill, or what are you doing there? We had a mystery meat category once, and it was beef cheeks. Shocked. Oh man, they're so good, Brian. You just gotta. They're tough, but man, you get them tender. Cacheton. That's exactly what they're at. What they are. You're going for the Tito's. I went to the Walmart as I mentioned earlier in the chat on Monday, and they sell alcohol at that Walmart. I mean, like hard alcohol, like Tito's and vinyl decals. Very nice. Did a turkey for Christmas and brined it with Cosmos. Best turkey ever. Brining is good for turkeys. Just don't overdo it because that turkey can get kind of mushy with your brine. 12 hours, I think, is good, man. How long do you smoke a 12-pound brisket? John, it depends. I did some 15-pound briskets for New Year's for a couple of customers, and I think it was 7 hours. 7 hours, and that's kind of a hot and fast cook. It all depends. You can cook them fast or you can cook them low. I like to smoke at 275, maybe even 300. Um, shock that brisket, get it all nice and puffy. Get that bark, wrap it, and pull it. It, don't always believe what you read. Okay, people always say, "Oh, pull it at 200." Like 200 is a magic number. No, pull it when it's tender. And I've had tender briskets. In fact, the briskets that I cooked for New Year's that cooked in 7 hours, they were really tender at 195. So I pulled them at 195. So it's not always about temperature. It's when that brisket is tender. Sometimes, guys, I see a lot of people smoke way over 200. Yeah, 203 is a joke. 205. Man, you're gonna have dry brisket. It's gonna fall apart. Um, so pull it at 190 if it's tender. It's the meat is cooked. Um, the beef is cooked. At 135 degrees. You can pull that brisket and eat it if you want. It's not going to be tender, but don't worry about it being raw. It's not going to be raw. You're just worried about the tenderness at that point. It's you can eat it at 130, 135 degrees if you wanted to. That'll be medium rare. But you're just cooking it longer to get it tender. So constant probing. I don't like to probe through the foil or anything like that because those foil pieces that when you punch that hole is going right into that meat if you're not careful. Oh, that is funny, Chef. And Chef will be the first one to agree. He knows that. He knows not to cook to temperature. You can use that as a rule of thumb, but um, pull your briskets when they're tender. So if you got a 12-pound brisket, if you do it at 275, 45 minutes a pound, I guess. But it all depends on what you're cooking it on too. Because if you're cooking it on an offset that's hot, or you can cook it on an offset at 250, and you can cook that thing for 12 hours if you wanted to. Gateway drum's going to cook it fast. It all depends on what you're doing, what you're cooking it on, and what temperature. I don't smoke anything at 225 or 250. I don't. My temperatures are higher than that. 250 or I'm sorry, 275 to 300, even 325. Yeah, exactly right. Ryan 501. When it probes like jello, when it looks like you're probing warm butter, pull it. Pull it. If you're doing foil, open up the foil, let it vent for 5 minutes. Cover that foil back up, put it in a Cambro or a cooler, wrap it in a towel. You can wrap it in a towel, or you can just put it in the cooler just like that, and let it rest for at least an hour. And I don't know if you guys have noticed or if it's just me, but when you're smoking a brisket like in an offset, when you slice it, you see that smoke ring, but once you slice it, it's like the smoke ring gets brighter. Is it just me or does that happen? Maybe somebody can explain that. Because when I'm slicing a brisket after I smoked it, I can see a smoke ring. But after I finish slicing the entire brisket, it's like the smoke ring gets redder, like real bright for some reason. I don't know what it is. Try to come out. O'Reilly started selling this chemical that it's a rust remover. You mix it with water and you just dip that product in there. It's biodegradable, obviously. I forget what it's called. It comes in a gold bottle. And that stuff, I tried it on tools just to see if it worked, and that stuff worked. I had an old rusty wrench, and I did half of it in that solution, like for 10 minutes, and that rust was gone. But you can do that as well. Just leave it soaking, and then wash it really good with soap and water. Um, there's other methods of doing it. You can sand it down, or but I think that solution that we sell at O'Reilly, it's a rust remover, but it's a solution that you mix with water, and you just put the grill grates in there in a small shallow pan, and that rust will come off. Just leave it in there for a little bit, and then wash it really good with soap and water. Wash it twice, okay? Get all that chemical stuff out. It's biodegradable, so I mean, I don't recommend you drink it, but it's biodegradable. Yeah, 275 sandblast. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Some of the moisture. So, Bill, do you notice that too? That it like the smoke ring brightens up for some reason when oxygen hits. I don't know. I'm gonna have to read. I don't know, Chef Johnny. Maybe you can explain that to us, man. The chef's the scientific cook here. It's when oxygen hits it. It's like a steak gets more red the longer it sits after being cut. I don't know why that happens, but nice. Oh, that's awesome, man. Tell him I said hi, man, Chef. Thyron, what's going on, buddy? This video is sponsored by Hilo. Oh God. What's the longest you have, or anyone here in the chat has had a brisket rest in the cooler for on a Cambro? You know what, Rick? I did one at my very first barbecue competition. It sat there for 4 hours, dude. 4 hours, man. And it was still good and juicy and warm. Okay, so Bill notices it also. The oxygen will make it redder. It's the hemoglobin that causes that. So is it that oxygen hits the meat and it gets it redder, it gets that smoke ring redder, if I'm reading that correct? Yeah. Brian says 4 hours too. That's the longest that I've ever uh, had a brisket rest in a cooler or a Cambro. Now it's not going to be. It'll be warm, but it's not going to be hot. In fact, the briskets that I did on for New Year's, one customer came about 3 hours. 3 hour. It had been resting for 3 hours, and I sliced it right before he got there, and it was still very warm and still really juicy. In fact, that brisket is the one that I've got on my Instagram and my Facebook page. That brisket that it's floating around social media like crazy. Um, that's that brisket that sat for 3 hours. It was really juicy. You can see the juiciness on the butcher paper. That brisket sat for 3 hours. It was really good too. Hemoglobins hold oxygen, thus makes it red. Oh, that I believe. So Gil is a nurse. So hemoglobin holds oxygen. Okay, let me think about that. Hemoglobin holds oxygen, thus makes it red. If you slice a brisket and it sits out, I find that it dries out. Yes, it's normal because well, you don't want to cut a hot brisket because that's going to dry out really fast. That's why you want to let it rest. Let those juices kind of run back throughout that whole brisket. 6 hours, very nice. I'm testing the new meter thermometers this weekend in the shoulder and short ribs. Very nice, Robert. I've heard good things about that meter. Wow. Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin and oxygen. Gil, oh, did I lose you guys for a minute? $6? All right. So Gil, so I said buy a 12 pack and come over and explain this hemoglobin and oxygen thing to me and why that smoke ring gets red. Now, this is cooked meat, smoked meat, but for some reason that smoke ring, the brisket, when you slice it, it looks red, but after it sits there for a minute, after it's been sliced, it gets redder. And I don't understand that. I don't understand that. It's meat science, I guess. But I think between Nurse Gill and Chef Johnny, they can explain that to us. I believe you, Chef. I believe you, man. So, okay, so Chef Johnny says when the oxygen hit the hemoglobin, so what is hemoglobin? Explain that to me. Hemoglobin. I'm doing a electric smoker video using Tender Quick. What is Tender Quick? I've never heard of Tender Quick before. So I'm not a pro like everyone. Would you? Oh man, you deleted your comment. Pink salt. So I want to cook a brisket this weekend. Oh, Tender Quick makes a fake smoke ring? Oh, hell no. Really? Fake smoke ring is like Caitlyn Jenner. It's fake. Cop guy use it, but don't admit it. Really? So does a red Sharpie, says Henderson. Oh, that is hilarious, dude. It's used for pastrami, really? Hemoglobin is a protein that carries oxygen in the blood, so it reacts when oxygen hits it. All right, so is our blood really red inside of us, or does it turn red when oxygen hits it? It's a cure that gives fake smoke. That is crazy. My Thea uses it on her eyebrows. Oh shit. That is hilarious. If you ever see those big thick smoke rings, it's Tender Quick. Wow. So I'm not a pro like everyone here, but I do know that I let my steaks rest so that the juice reabsorbs, which oxygen will reabsorb in the hemoglobin that carries oxygen, makes it redder. Okay. So our blood turns red. Does our blood turn red when the oxygen hits it? So what color is our blood inside of us? Clear? Let's find out. Let me cut a gash on my face right here. I'm joking. I won't do that. So Gil, answer that question. What color is our blood? And Gil is a nurse. He's gonna be a doctor soon, I think. This is good. I think we're. I've been wanting to ask that, but I didn't know who to ask about the smoke ring. I kind of felt foolish asking. I thought it was maybe it was just me that my smoke ring on the brisket is more pronounced after it's been sliced and been sitting for a little bit. Oh man. Uh, what people are saying it is blue and purple? Later, Brian. It's red, but it gets red. I'm using gunpowder rub with Tender Quick. I'll send you a text of what blood looks. Oh, okay, that'll be cool. Cook Shack. I'll send you a text of what blood looks like in different oxygen environments. I think that'll help me understand that whole smoke ring thing. Be careful with it. Sodium nitrate can be deadly. Really? Sodium nitrate. So sodium sounds salty and nitrates. Oh man. So is it bad for you if you eat that sodium nitrate or just ate? What's going on? How are you? Actually, it is not a fake smoke ring because smoke ring has nothing to do with it. The nitrates are naturally released by the burning coals. Our blood is not blue or purple in our body. uh, our veins look blue and green. Looks like salt, but it's not. Just got the notification you're on. Doing great. Just home from work. Oh, nice. Thanks for coming on. Just say that. We're just talking about you earlier about tofu in your last video. Uh, so people are saying blood is blue and green still. Pastrami is not deadly, but it's yummy. I heard the colder the meat when you put it out in the smoker, the better smoke ring will be. John, I don't know if I've heard that too. And when I cook a brisket, I'll be honest, I'll take it right out of the fridge, which is probably 35 degrees, maybe or so, 35, 38 degrees. I'll season it and put it right on the smoker. And I always end up with a really nice smoke ring. A lot of people like to let it rest. And I think that the cold meat and that hot heat, I think there might be something there about developing a better smoke ring. Sodium nitrate is curing salt and will kill you. What? Yeah, I was talking about you just at it. It will kill you if eaten too much. Well, nitrates and nitrate releases nitrosomes, when put in the presence of high heat, and nitrosomes can cause cancer. Holy crap. Uh, Thyron, you better throw that brisket in the trash when you're done smoking it, it sounds like, buddy. Don't eat it. Um, I mean, it's like my third bottle of water in an hour and a half. Well, that was a really good conversation, guys, about that whole smoke ring thing. I thought it was just me when I slice my brisket, the smoke ring is there, but after it sits, it gets brighter, like a bright red. And people do think that that people think that it's raw, but it's not. It's smoke ring. Just gotta wash it off. La lumbre quema todo. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, if that's the case, man, if that sodium nitrate stuff is bad for you, fake smoke ring. You're raw. That is hilarious, dude. Oh yeah, I just got your attachments, man. I'll have to look at those here in a bit, Gil. That's interesting. Interesting conversation, man. But what's interesting is that I don't know the brisket. There's no blood in the brisket. It's cooked, but maybe when it's cooked, there's still hemoglobin present. Is what I'm getting at. Is what I'm getting. What I'm thinking is that even a smoked brisket that's completely cooked, even though there's no blood, physical blood present, that there's hemoglobin that's still within that meat, is what you're saying. Nitrates are used to cure food because it's more likely food poisoning will kill you before the nitrates will. Oh, crap. Well, now you just made things a little bit more interesting. So nitrates are like MSG? Monosodium glutamate, something like that. So I think Chinese restaurants use that, right, on their buffet tables and stuff to keep the food looking fresh, even though it's been sitting out there for 24 hours. MSG, is that the same thing as sodium nitrate? James, what's going on, buddy? I gotta watch your brisket video, man. I still haven't seen that. I watched two. He says he ate it. It's not MSG. Okay, that's why you need to eat more deer and javelina. I know, Eric, because there ain't no sodium nitrate in that javelina. There ain't no fake smoke ring in that thing. Tom Horseman, what's going on, buddy? James, I gotta watch that brisket video. I saw Rye cooking with Rye. He did a brisket tonight, or this morning, or yesterday, and then I saw Scott from the Real Show Barbecue did a pork shoulder. But I need to catch up on videos. Haven't Rick is Rick in the house? Yeah, there he is. What's going on, buddy? But you have to realize if you add curing salts to some sausage to cure, it is only 1 tablespoon for 5 pounds. And curing salt is 94% salt and only 6% nitrite. Huh. Very interesting conversation. Once a ham is cured, the nitrates should be gone, is why you can eat it. But it can kill you if you eat too much of that Oh, man. Sounds like sodium nitrate is a bad thing. Huh. Yeah, so I guess you'll never see sodium nitrate or nitrite in my shakers. Just eat it fast and do not prepare to preserve. No co-packer will put it in rubs. Hint, hint. No co-packer will put it in rubs. Pink salt. Send the sodium nitrate. So are we not going to war with Iran, I guess? I take it? It is pretty deep talk, Tom. Very little amount, and not the nitrates are gone. They're still there. Okay, it's not that they're gone, they're still there. Well, it sounds like we are all dying if you're going to start hunting fresh. Nitrates is a something. I'm only sort of following the conversation. Are we all going to die? I think we're all going to die because Trump wanted to start a war with Iran. It's a preserving agent. I love pink salt. So are we not going to war after all? What happened? Because I've been at work. I haven't watched news. I turned on the TV. I hadn't seen a lick of a news clip. But because if we're not going to war, we need to go tell the guys at the gas station to lower the damn pricing, because the minute they saw that we might go to war with Iran, they raised their damn prices. Well, now we need to go knock on the door and say, hey, lower the price back down. We're not going to war. Ask CNN and they'll tell you that we are. Nice. I guess I was watching it. They claim they got 80 soldiers. Okay, so we're not going to retaliate. Later, Bill. $3.68 a gallon. I brought my diesel, and here in Carlsbad, the diesel is $2.99 a gallon, which is expensive. I can get diesel for $2.60 back in El Paso. They shot empty bases and the plane down. I saw that. I don't know. Have they said what happened to that airplane? That's crazy. I don't know. I mean, nobody wants to go to war, but from what it sounds like, this guy from Iran was planning an attack on either the U.S. or U.S. targets or U.S. soldiers. So they took him out because of the threats. The threat levels were pretty significant. Is the reason why. We're having a nitrates collaboration. It might hashtag it might kill you. Love it, Eric. I love it. We should do that. Hashtag it might kill you. That is hilarious. All right, guys. I've been on for an hour and 30 minutes, longer than I anticipated to go on. But so any cured meat has nitrates or nitrites. Ham, bacon, smoked, sausages, lunch meat, corn, straw meat, jerky, smoked salmon. Shall I go on? No, stop right there, chef. Send all the nitrates to Iran. Since we took our Iran's number 3 guy, we should send our number 3 Nancy Pelosi. All right, guys, it was good chatting with you, man. I missed going live and chatting with you guys. It was a good conversation. The conversation was good. Thanks for tuning in. I will come out with some cooks this weekend and post up a couple of new videos this weekend. But good chatting with you guys, Chef and James and Bill and Just88 and Rick and Brian from 501 and everybody else. Nurse Gill, nitrates are bad during pregnancy, can cause nerve defects in the developing baby. Oh God, this conversation on nitrates is getting deep. I think this is time for me to pull out or get out of this conversation. You guys have a great rest of your night and look out for some videos. See you guys.